We are here at the Scale Up Summit that is co-hosted with Fortune Magazine. And I'm with David Butler, who is Vice President of Innovation and Entrepreneurship for the Coca-Cola Company. He leads a platform called Coca-Cola Founders, designed to co-create seed stage startups by partnering Coca-Cola with a global network of entrepreneurial founders. David is the author of Design to Grow, How Coca-Cola Learned to Combine Scale and Agility, and how you can too. So, David, first of all, I thought that was an interesting question from the audience. How did this position even come about at Coca-Cola, and why?
Yeah, Verne, I think most large scaled companies like Coca-Cola are struggling and working with this notion of digital transformation. It's essentially like rebuilding the plane while it's in the air. And so most big companies are looking for ways to actually collaborate with entrepreneurs, startups in different ways, and that's what led to the model I talked about.
And so we talked a lot about this third wave of where the internet is, this internet of everything. And it requires a whole different kind of partnerships. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, Steve Case wrote the book, but really the notion is that it's much more similar to the first wave of the internet, which is when businesses were really thinking about transformation. The second wave was where the applications that layer on top of the internet sort of took over. But the third opportunity, the third wave, is where large organizations actually partner with entrepreneurs to create this internet of everything.
And the entrepreneurs need to partner with the large organizations if they're going to go in there and make the internet of automobiles or airplanes, plus governments. It's one of the reasons why Mark Zuckerberg's bicycling around with the leadership of China.
Excuse me, and that's what's different, because typically if you're an entrepreneur, you think VC, I need to meet a VC and raise funding. Yeah. You rarely think about partnering with a large organization, whether it's a company or a governmental organization.
So, tell us about this founders thing, and who are you looking for? How do they get a hold of you? How does this work?
Yeah, so we call it a co-creation model because we literally co-create new companies with founders. And we start with a big challenge that our company has, but our industry has. For example, out of stocks. Out of stocks is a big challenge for the CPG industry. If our products aren't on the shelf, you as a shopper can't buy them, a retailer can't sell them, the manufacturer can't sell them, there's no value exchange. So opening up that kind of challenge to entrepreneurs who already have passion in that space, that's what the platform's all about.
And you ended up partnering with who? Tell that story.
Yeah, we met a couple founders based in San Francisco, and they again had a passion for creating more jobs. Unemployment was where the passion was. So they thought, how could we take our passion and connect it to this big challenge that Coke has? And what they did was they essentially created the Uber for on-demand staffing. They call it Wonolo, W-O-N-O-L-O, Wonolo. And again, it's taken off. So we partner with Wonolo to do things that we couldn't do naturally.
And what's been the result for Coke?
The result for Coke is we're able to augment our staff in ways that, again, would be impossible for us to do. It's very difficult for us to do in any large company, actually, to do anything on demand, right? It's just a huge ship you have to turn. So we're able to create a lot more agility across our company by partnering with Wonolo. And for Wonolo, they've been able to create a big business. They actually just raised their Series A round, and Coke, in this case, is just one of over 200 customers that they have.
So David, how are these partnerships structured? Do you invest in these companies? Do you take equity? Explain how that works.
Yeah, if the founders need seed capital, we provide that through a convertible note that converts into minority shares. But again, some founders aren't looking for capital. What they're looking for is the platform or the assets that Coke can open up for them. So think about all the relationships that Coke has. We can open the door to Taylor Swift or the CEO of Walmart. These are the types of relationships that are very natural, very easy for us to leverage. If you're a founder of an early stage company, you can dream about that, but it's very difficult to form those.
And you're looking for experienced entrepreneurs versus the MBA.
Yeah, so this is not a program. This is not an outreach program. We're actually trying to create real solutions that we can leverage and real companies that can scale for the founders. So we look for we call them repeat founders. There are entrepreneurs who it's not a requirement that they've actually created a high growth company, but they've worked inside one, because it's just very different. Once you're inside of that kind of environment, it's even difficult to talk about it. You have to feel it. So that's what we're looking for.
But you're expecting them to identify the opportunity and then reach out to you.
Yeah, so we are in 10 countries around the world. We've launched 12 companies actually 14 companies on the platform now in 10 countries. So, and that's another piece of it. We have startups in our portfolio from everywhere from Vietnam to Buenos Aires, Argentina, to Berlin. So anyway, we're everywhere. And so if you're interested, honestly, just reach out to me personally through LinkedIn or Twitter. But that's how it is. It's very one-on-one, very grassroots.
David, thank you for coming on over. I know you really opened up our eyes to these huge, big opportunities to partner.
Thanks, Verne.